Mane sir, good morning. जॉईन झालेत की नाही सुनील?
झालेत मॅडम.
झालेत मॅडम, जॉईन झालेत.
तर सुरू करा दरकुंडे सर.
Yeah. So good morning to one and all the dignitaries who are joined on this online platform. I welcome each of you. And today it's my privilege to introduce one of the best person that I came across from 2010, Professor Rajaram Mane. Professor Rajaram Mane, he has received his PhD in physics from Shivaji University, Kolhapur in 2000 and worked as a postdoctoral fellow at one of the prestigious university called of his joining in our campus. He has more than 396 research articles to his credit. He has more than 12,000 citations and 240 article index. He's actively engaged in synthesis of 2D and 3D metal oxides, carbides, nitrides, fluorides for solar cells, electrochemical supercapacitors, chemical sensors, and bioactive applications. His major interests include synthesis of novel nanostructures for energy conversion and storage device technologies. He has played an instrumental role for placing as well as helping number of students at abroad. As far as his academic records are concerned, he holds BSc and MSc degree from Pune University. He did his PhD under the supervision of Professor C.D. Lokhande from Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Besides holding a positions over here, earlier he was assistant professor at Vidya Pratishthan Institute of Information Technology, Baramati. He was also was a brain pool fellow during 2006-2007 at Hanyang University, Seoul, Korea. He is a visiting professor at number of universities like King Saud University, Saudi Arabia, Busan National University, Korea. He was also visiting professor at one of the prestigious institute nearby to us, HGS Institute of Engineering and Technology. And since last 3 or 4 years, he is working as a director, innovation, incubation, and linkages at our present university, Swami Ramanand Tirth Marathoda University, Nanded. There are a number of things to say about this professor, but by looking towards at a time constraint, I will stop over here and Mane sir.
I will share my screen. Whether the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
At the outset, I am very much thankful, Dr. Nitin Darkonde sir, for introducing me. First, I would say congratulations to Jadhav sir, especially he did. It means when I was operating on the same system last year, in about one day, internet was disappearing for more than 10 to 15 times. But last a few months, internet activity is very systematic and it is a continuous. So thank you very much, Mr. Sunil Jadhav, for providing continuous access of internet, which is an essential need of any researcher. And being a researcher, I would say thanks to you. Here, in about 1.5 hours, I'm going to talk on what is mean by citations, what is H index, then what is impact of high journal articles on your research activities and so on. Myself as Dr. Nitin Kumar Darkonde introduced Professor Rajaram Mane. I'm a senior professor of this university, and last 2 to 3 years, I'm holding the position of Director Innovation, Incubation, and Linkages. Well, let us start with some. I divided my talk in different directions. One is related to research and development. Second one is the research, what things are required. Do you require money? Absolutely not required. Do you require family background? Certainly not required. Do you require the heavy heritage that will allow you to be great researcher? We think very minute things are required to be researcher. For example, you need to have personal drive. I want to do it and I can do it. That kind of personal drive will help you to be researcher. You need to have daring. You know, there actually there is one comment or there is one logo in English we can call it as just wasting your time without decision is useless. You will waste your life without taking if you are not taking decision. Whether your decision is good or bad, whether your decision is failure or fruitful, let the destiny should decide. But you should take decision. So here they
जाधव सर.
सर माने सर चाललंय.
हा काही डिस्कनेक्शन झालं वाटतं ते ना.
sorry, there was some miscommunication was there. I'm resharing it. One second. Dr. Jadhav sir, please allow me to share my screen.
1 minute sir, 1 minute sir, 1 minute.
Sure. So what I was talking during this time, passion is important. At the same time, your daring is required. You should be focused research, and you should be able to deliver the excellence of your contribution. So excellence is very important. You should have
Sir, screen share करू शकता sir.
Okay. So you should have clear vision for the for your work what you are planning. So if you are not if you don't have clear vision that what you are doing, you may not be good researcher. So initially, I would say, initially 3 steps you need to maintain. The one thing is that you should believe yourself. Second thing is that you have confidence on yourself. The third thing is that you should have ambition. The clarity of thought should be clear and visible. Then you should have commitment. Means once you've made commitment, under any cost, that commitment should not break. So that kind of things we are expecting from the research as a researcher. As Dr. Dharkunde mentioned, I'm a good researcher in university. But if you look at the top 10 scientists, top 100 scientists in India especially, the top 1 scientist is the C.N.R. Rao, basically. And the Dr. C.D. Lokhande, who is my PhD supervisor, he's a top 3rd scientist in India, especially. And his world ranking is 453. So if you can see from Pune, Mumbai, Kolhapur, and throughout the Maharashtra, Throughout the Maharashtra, only 4, especially in material science, only 4 to 5 scientists are there. And you will come to know that the majority scientists belong to the from Shivaji University. From Shivaji University, Professor Siddhi Lokhande is there, Professor Pramod Patil is there, then Dr. K.Y. Rajput is there, Dr. A. Madolkar sir is there, then we have C.H. Bhosle is there. Then, so these people belong, means from 7 people, about 4 to 5 scientists belong to the Shivaji University. Now question is here, whether Shivaji University was earlier or Pune University was earlier, whether Mumbai University was earlier or Shivaji University was earlier. So just because of hard work, the scientists from Shivaji University could able to have their names in reputed institute. I mean, they could able to add their name in a world ranking scientist. You can imagine that from 7 people, 4 to 5 people belong to Shivaji University. And Dr. Satish Chandra Ogle, the Imtiaz Mullah, both scientists from NCL, they are in top 100 list. Now, question is here: what we don't have? We have infrastructure, we have facilities, we have the good economy. Unfortunately, we don't have willpower. So what I said you initially, your confidence, your ambition, clarity, belief, then commitment and courage will make you definite researcher or the perfect researcher. So here basically what is expected. So if you have these qualities, then only you are entitled to become, or you will be smart researcher. So one thing is clear here: economy is required, your family background is not required, from region you belong to it is not required. So always unnecessarily we create, we bother ourselves. I don't have money. How I become good researcher? I'm not from that particular family. How I can become researcher? Okay, that will not help you for becoming a researcher. So, coming to the point, in top researchers, if you see the researchers here, we can very easily see. If I see from just as sir has mentioned in his introduction speech, okay, Dr. Mani is having 12,000 citations. I should not feel proud that, okay, I have 12,000 citations. When I look at my research, I should see the person having 32,000 citations. The person is having, you can clearly see that Professor Kim is having more than the few lakhs of citations. So you should not be immediately happy. Okay, I have this much, I'm a grade, something like that. No. If you want to be a researcher, basically, you need to be on ground. You should have bird's eye view, but your thinking should be ground level thinker. But imagination should fly in the sky. Basically, in conclusion or in short, I would say, to become a researcher, one should not be self-satisfied. I would not say I'm a great researcher. Let people should say, let people should experience it. Let people should judge me by saying myself, I cannot become a researcher. Sometimes I want to say, I have seen so many people around me. They're saying I'm good researcher. I have done first time in this world. Nobody has done it. So like this comment will unnecessarily increase your ego. Nothing will happen. Because in every forest, as like lion, elephant is there, as like elephant, tiger is there, all animals are there, and they are great on their position. By saying you will not become big scientist. By only announcing you will not become big scientist. By work you have to show, we have to prove that you are genuine scientist or realistic scientist. Well, so what actually here in this slide I want to show you is the first international conference we have conducted in 2011. You won't believe. This was the first international conference in SRTMU Nanded, and during that time, Professor Nimse was there. Such a vision. If we have visionary leaders, so visionary leadership always matters a lot in developing research, or in formulating, or in order to go institute in right direction or in developing direction. So always, I recommend also. You need to select good support or good mentor that is a visionary. If your mentor is not visionary, it will not take time to collapse the institute. So the institutes are like tree. So if the bottom get collapsed, automatically tree will come down. So the visionary leader can change this, as like what honorable Prime Minister we have. So such a wonderful visionary leader we got, and due to the last 10 and 20 years, we can easily see how the world is changing drastically. One point I want to mention here to all researchers. The days of reservation has gone. Meaning is that if you say I'm economically poor, give me reservation, 0% chance. I'm from this category, give me reservation and give me some kind of excuses. That these are gone. Because here competition is very high. And for competition, you need to prove your quality. And if you are not proving your quality, nobody is going to due respect or due consideration. Well, so here actually in this case, I want to mention here, to be researcher, don't respect yourself. This slide is already Dr. Dharkundi has mentioned. This is about my personal details. And I'm on different bodies. I'm editor of different journals. And I did actually, this is my 29th or 28th or 29th job. I don't know whether 30th job will come. So what I would say from this, you will say you are from your side, you will have comment like this. You are changeable person. You are not steady person. But I would say the change before 2 days only. I have given interview for the BITS Pilani. But before 2 days only, I have a discussion about my next job somewhere else. Means before 2 days, I discussed my two jobs elsewhere. So you will simply say you are senior professor in this university, or you are director of innovation incubation in this university. Your salary is very high. Then why you want to change your that? Remember, friends, change is the success. Because if you stay with the people for a long time, in addition to good point, you will realize their bad points, bad habits. And you will look at the bad habits instead of looking at good points. As a result, your progress will deteriorate, your progress will come down. So this is my personal feeling I have. So always think yourself, I always make commitment to yourself that you want to change that. You want to change your job every 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. It is not like permanent. Permanent means just you are becoming slaves of universities. You are becoming slaves of system, nothing else. So somebody will say, I'm a permanent, nobody can take you. There are so many examples are there. If system decided to take you out without fractions of second, they will take out. No, without any reasoning. So there's so many examples, and you may be one of the victim of it, or you may be one of the parameter of it. So what I want to say to you, in today's life, in today's scenario, nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. You have to make yourself confident. You have to make yourself committed. Even though today my system to throw me out, tomorrow I can have my own place, because based on my career, based on my credentials, based on my career, based on my achievements, tomorrow next day I will get my job. So like this thinking you have to make in your mind. So then only you will be safe, or you can say you will be happy in your life. Otherwise, if you're stuck at one place, your progress along everything will stop. So this is one of the important points if you want to be researcher. So in order to become researcher, you should be changeable, you should be committed, you should have excellent, you should be focused, you should be daring, you should have the passionate, you should be driving oriented. So you should not be follower. Research never follow. He always drive the system. So I want to say, and you should have, of course, you should have clear vision. So here I will say 4 points are very essential to be a researcher. One is ambition, second one is a clarity of thinking, third one is a personal belief, and fourth one is a commitment. If you have 4 things, need not bother anyone, because all things will follow you, or simply all things will come to you if you have the 4 things with you. So I did some of my research abroad. I was in Oxford University and so on. Okay, so this is some kind of achievement. Dr. Dharkundi has mentioned this point. As a what I have delivered last 12 years in SRTMU in Nanded. On left hand side, you can say that 16 scholars have completed their PhD under my supervision. 8 scholars have completed their PhD and so on. Okay. Now, if you look these achievements, at the same time, I got some few awards, and one of this award, Dr. Nimse was there. He nominated my name as a Shanti Bhatnagar Award for nomination, and some kind of we have national international collaborations. Here is very important point. If you don't have collaborations, if you think yourself you are a smart researcher, nobody is going to come to you. So basically, always remember. Okay, so what I would say, if you want to be when you become a writer, then you will understand difference between the words. Okay, so but if you want to be a researcher, you should have habit of saying hello and extending your helping hands to others. then only you will understand importance of research. Okay, so two things are there different. One is the researcher and second is the research. For both, the extending your helping hand and forthcoming attitude, I mean to say coming forward attitude, both will help you. Because if you are not writer, you won't understand the meaning of words, or you difference between two words. If you are a writer, then only you will understand the difference between these two words. And if you want to be researcher, then if you don't have these two qualities, one is the attitude of coming forward, and second one is the collaboration attitude. So if you say I'm a big researcher, nobody researcher as like me in the world, nobody is going to come to you. So here the two things you have to remember. One thing, you should have helping hands and the cooperation attitude. So so a few of my students got very good awards. For example, Dr. Vijay Kumar Zadav, who is now in China, Israel Institute of Technology. He was a Lando meeting. He was a J Space fellow. At the same time, he was a very Q fellow. Means our students also have a potential to avail very good opportunities. In world now, competition is open, and only researcher can cover that competition. The researcher can avail that positions. So far, I have taught more than 12 subjects. Here you can see here. What I am observing, though I joined in this university as a professor, and it is mandatory for professor to teach one paper. And what people are doing, once they take one paper, throughout life, they are changing. They are keeping the same paper for teaching. And they can see that paper belong to their Sadbara or 712. So Marathi, we can call a Sadbara. Or I have this paper, last 12 years I have taught this paper. I will teach only this paper. Why you are not changing the paper? Because you don't have ability to change yourself. So I recommend those who are young staffs are there, young staff over here, they should change teaching paper every 2 years. So they will understand the importance of other subjects too. And if you stuck at one paper, you may get knowledge of that paper, but the knowledge of other work, other paper, you will lose day by day. And later on, after 10 years, you find that I'm only material scientist, electrodynamics, plasma physics, nothing is there. So I request young staff to change teaching paper every year. Here I would say here. First, now let me focus on the researcher. I can say here there is one quote from Honorable Prime Minister. Final outcome of research and innovation to be judged is related to one minute, I'll check. Okay. So, in his clause, he mentioned that for their positive impact. So whatever research I am doing, is it showing some positive impact on society? Forget about society, whether it's showing some impact on myself. Answer is no. I'm doing my research only for promotion. I'm doing my research only for getting some kind of incentives. I'm doing my research only for increasing the impact factor what we have. Especially, I would say the points we required for the promotion. We can say cash promotion. And I'm not, and where I'm publishing paper, the Pangri Institute of Science and Technology. Yeah, Latur Institute of Science and Technology. Like this journal, I'm publishing paper. So that will not give you personal satisfaction. That will not give you economical satisfaction. That will not give you social satisfaction. At the same time, that will not give you industrial satisfaction. That means your research is only for your sake of simplicity, and it is only temporary for you. Always remember this thing. So here he mentioned that the scientist should be determined, and from our university we can do it. We have that kind of things are there. So. As we can see, knowledge-based society is going up. If I say I'm material scientist, now my question is that how I can utilize my knowledge for others. Today, the days past where physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology only will survive, no chance. Now today, specializations are changed. Internet of Things. We can say the data mining, we have internet processing are coming out. So means all things are changed now, and you need to have expertise in that part. We can have the aptitude tests are coming forward day by day. The Java is coming forward. The Python is coming forward. Now my question is that all engineer students will have this knowledge. Whether scientists will have this knowledge? Of course, no. So when you come in the research field, you should have knowledge of these upcoming fields also, such as Java, you should know, Python, you should know. You should know how to use the programs in different fields. The Internet of Things, how to utilize the Internet of Things for your development. Or we can say that what is mean by that, and data mining, how to collect the data. So this thing you should aware. So I mean to say, today's society is a smart society. It is a knowledgeable society. If I ask if you compare me with my kids, they are using their all fingers while operating mobile. If I look at my seniors, you may see your seniors around you. They are using tick 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 one button. Who is smart? Whether kid is smart or older are smart. So obviously you will believe in me. The young generation is smarter compared to the old generation, and we have to look at the young generation, not old generation. It doesn't mean that the old generation is better. Their experience will be certainly useful, but by taking their experience, we should solve the problems of society that is called as a knowledge society. The society of today is basically more or less technology oriented. The government of India has started new programs such as Stuti. So, we have recently RGTST. So these programs will promote researchers to become smart researchers. The simple researcher nobody will accept. Science never solve the problem without creating 10 more. So if you solve one problem, 10 problems will problem, but you should have attitude. The 4 points what I said you earlier. Anybody will can tell me? Initially I told you 4 points. Which are the 4 points I told you to become researcher? Anybody can tell me? I told you 4 points. So in order to become good researcher, person should need to have four points. The first one was the ambition. Second one was the clarity. Third one was belief. And fourth one is the commitment. If you have 4 things, you will be good researcher or successful researcher. Higher education institutes are national assets for producing knowledge. So, but what is happening nowadays? If you look at the university ranking, again, I will come to the point. Okay, so destiny of country is the shape of a college and university. Accepted it now. When universities will change? Now question is clear in front of you. Few universities are coming in Maharashtra as a private universities. I will say one example to you. Okay, I'm giving you only statistics, so please don't take it in other way around. The Bharati Vidyapit is a private university whose annual budget is 1800 crore rupees per year. What is budget of my university? Is it more than 300 crores? So means what I want to say you here, they look at the DY Patil College, Kolhapur. Its annual budget is more than 1700 crores per year. Means Amity University, Mumbai. Okay, if you look these private universities are going forward, but they are not looking at economy. They are looking for quality. We are looking at economy. We are not looking for the quality. This difference should be suppressed. If we are not respecting quality, we never will come out. This is my appeal for and only researcher. If I'm getting more than 10 lakh rupees per annum or per month, why I will come in public university? So only researcher can do that. So means researcher can only deal with the package, not a common person, not common professor. So if you want to be researcher, automatically if you become a researcher, quality will come in you. And once quality comes in you, you will deal your own package. You will not depend upon how much basic salary, how much DA is increased, how much TA is increased. No, not necessary, because you have that kind of assets. And only researcher can do that, not an ordinary person. So I will explain here what are different types of researchers are there. So here we can say research consists of new ideas. Okay, I will tell you first. I will tell you how to do research. Then I will focus on the basic research, advanced research, and so on. First, research means not only cut and paste. What our scholars are doing. If I ask my scholars to do research, they are copying from one paper 50% part. They are copying from another paper 50% part. Some graphs they are developing, and they are saying, "So this is my research." Such a research will not be useful. First, I would say, in order to become a researcher, you need to satisfy yourself. I have done this work. Whether I am satisfied? No. In which field you are working is not important. You may be biologist, you may be chemist, you may be physicist, it may be mathematician. What is first motto? First motto is that I am doing in this direction. Whether I achieved my direction or not. My first question. Suppose, for example, I'm a material scientist. I'm material research. I'm doing. I'm working on some kind of biological activities, chemical activities such as sensor, and something we are doing. Let me talk on biological activities. Suppose I'm using some material for checking antifungal activities. What I will do? I will first test antifungal activities. And I will check it whether my results are good or not. If my results are there, I will use another material. And there only I will do experiment till I get good result on antifungal activity of my expectation based on given material. So that is my idea, what I will say. Then once it gets materialized, I will have surrounding info, surrounding characteristics. Because for example, if X material shows an antifungal activity, then after proving antifungal, see, first of all, you have to prove your result, what you're expecting. Then you have to go for the which material has produced that antifungal activity. Then I will characterize that material. Second, my question will come in mind, why that material produces antifungal activity? Why not other material? If I have 4 materials with me, out of 4 materials, 1 will produce antifungal activity, and remaining 3 will demonstrate inferior antifungal activity. My second question should be in my mind, why only single material has produced that antifungal activity? Why not remaining 3? Based on that, I will do some kind of physical characterization. It may have, one may have less surface area, it may have some less active sites, and so on. Some reasoning. This is my second question. I'm telling you how to do research. First is that I want to check my activity which I want to perform. Second, why that activities get performed by this material. Third, which characteristics are required. And then fourth, who has studied on antifungal activity using this material which I have been tested. If I'm using the same material, then manuscript will not go in good journey. So I should have novelty of material, application, synthesis, and mechanism. You need to have all things together. Means understanding, concept should be there, mechanism should be there, performance should be there, and finally application should be there. If you are doing basic research, you should have perfect mechanism of why it is forming. If you are doing on application based research, which performance you are showing, or what is your performance of your device, and why it shows that kind of performance, whether your performance is higher, superior, or inferior. If it is inferior, you should be able to explain why it's inferior than others. Doesn't make difference. So not necessarily all the times your performance should be high, not required. But you should be able to explain mechanism. Why your performance is less. That kind of understanding is required. So more than about few number of publications are there. Now here again, same point is there. The research provides you the new knowledge, development. If you do systematic experimentation, that will, if you do systematic experimentation, that will help you to improve your art of life. So good experimentalist is good cook, what I used to believe. The person who is doing good experiment in the laboratory, his wife, he need not worry about his family because he is good cook at the home also, what I used to believe. So, but you need to be good experiment, not trial and error method. Then whatever knowledge you achieve through the experiment, it should be well materialized. In this slide, I have given an example. You select the topic of research. The all-in-one and master of none will be useless for you. Here, what I want to tell you here, you select in which field I'm going, which field has a market in the future. Of course, that is why I said your mentor is very important. Mentor will tell you after 10 years what is going to happen. What Dr. Honorable Prime Minister said on 15th August 2022. What he said, he has given plan of next 25 years. So can we make plan of 10 years, 15 years? When I was scholar like you, especially when I was basically graduate and master scholar. So it was my plan to become researcher. So after 50 years, 60 years, what I will be now, this is time to make a plan. So if you are changing your plan every day, you will not be good researcher or you will not be successor. So I want to say you make plan, find out the area in which you have interest. Once you get interested, develop your passion, develop skills in you within that discipline or within that particular field, and try to have try to have considerable skills in the field. And once you realize, okay, I have enough field. For example, I will give you Professor Michael Gratchell. He spent entire life on TiO2. We are changing material every day as like we are changing our clothes. It is not expected. So means what is it? You should have thorough knowledge of research in which you are working. So this thing, you select the topic of your interest so that you will not get frustration. But while selecting topic of your interest, you should look the market viability also. If your topic is very older, if you are producing efficiency 0.1%, is nobody is going to consider you, even though you like the topic. So means whatever topic you are selecting, whatever topic you prefer, it should be market oriented. It should be of your liking. At same time, it should be scientifically sound on it. So you need to have topic of your interest that we need to clear. So what is research and what is a researcher? Difference between these two. If I'm honest, scientific investigation undertaken for the purpose of discovery, the new facts of establishing new relations among facts already known, so which will contribute to the present body system, or you can say that will be useful for the society. That's called as research. Simply, I can say. Now, what is meant by researcher? The person, anybody, not necessarily he should be graduate or master or something, but our system is said, if you are only PhD, you are a good researcher. If you are master, you are a good researcher. No, it is not like that. Any person who has conception of creation of new knowledge. Recently, we can say the startup started. Incubation started by Government of India, where the PhD is not mandatory. The 10th class yesterday, before 2 days, I was in Pune, where I saw the here companies name with the fuel is there, fuel. So what they are doing, they are collecting the scholars from 10th class, 12th class, graduate, master, PhD, all class. Here, name fuel. I will, okay, if I may not have, but I may show later. I may have photograph of it. Okay, is the founder of this company is a Ketan Deshpande. You can see here. Okay, this is a fuel. So it is about 23 kilometers away from the Swargate. What that it is NGO. You cannot believe how much fund they are generating every year. It is NGO company collecting more than 100 crores of funds from Government of India. What for they are using? They are inviting the batches of 80 scholars, 10 standard, not necessarily from science discipline. It may be from the art, commerce, any field, engineer, even though IT company, they are inviting and they are doing everything free of cost there. And what now they are providing aptitude test, how to provide this, we can say, so how they are giving the skills to face the interviews, and about in 30 days program they are placing him, and while training also they are giving some kind of remuneration such as 50,000 or 20,000 rupees. So means like these companies are coming forward. So a researcher need not be highly educated, but since it is our system, we need to become researcher in our system. We need to have good PhD, and especially the PhD person can do research what is expected. But in reality, anybody can do the research, provided that your product, the process, whatever he is doing, it should be useful for the society. Your research can change the world. Yes, it is possible. But for that, you need to have 4 drives in you. As I said you, if you believe yourself, and if you have potential of commercialization, then your research can change the entire world. And so many examples we are looking in daily life. So research is basically it should be ethically sound. It should be what we are doing when we discuss in community. We try to show my research is the best, others' research is fake. Not necessary to compare yourself. So you should respect your research, but at the same time, you should not criticize others' research. So you should not discriminate anybody else while you are doing research. I am the only good researcher in the market. Nobody knows the research. So no like that. So you should have the the anonymous property. You should have the get together property instead of keeping yourself isolation. Excellence in research, basically that will change your attitude. And basically that will give you attitude of climbing, or we can say if you should feel once you get some success, you'll feel that to run faster and faster. But initially, till you get success in your achievements, you may not be motivated. But once you get little success, you feel that sky is limit for you. So that actually I want to tell you, and these are some kind of qualities of properties of qualities of researcher. Now let's come to the point. What is meant by discovery, invention, and innovation? Discovery, what we say here, clearly mentioned that discovery is the coming across of things that are already existing. Okay, the things which are existing, but the people are not aware of it, and they are not using it. For example, before 2 days I saw bullock car. Since our childhood time, we are looking the bullock carts, but actually where bulls are get connected, if suppose one tire is connected there, their load will be reduced. That kind of idea it has come forward. It means that it was there, but that should come in your mind. Then invention is something which has been created by someone. Means, so if you produce something and that is useful for society, that is called as an innovation. And I can say I will go one step further. It's called as entrepreneur. So making successful business of your development, it is something awesome. Though it is hard for you, but basically it is not impossible. And best example is the Sunil Raitata Saab. If you look the history of Sunil Raitata Saab belong to Jalna, you will come to know that his product now as and today is delivering or is exporting nearly about 27 countries. And he started business from Jalna. So why not you? So okay, there is different business is different story. Here I will take you why person is not become successful in research. He has a lot of drawbacks. The why so many things are get failed. Why people are failing? Because of I say they don't have confidence, they don't have focus properly, and finally they don't have teamwork. Or in finally we may say now, as I said you should go in direction where opportunities are there, where less people have. For example, if we say, for example, in India, we have the cricket of 11 players. The small country like Pakistan is having, the country is small, 11 players are same. So if the person is smart, then what you say, based on his skills, for him to get position in cricket team will be easier in Pakistan compared to India. So like that wise, here you have to look at the literature. In which field has future, which field has a market, which field has, for example, cancer. The cancer treatment is available, but it is not cure. It is not preventive. It is vaccine is not available. Can we do in this direction? So, for example, we have respiratory infections and diseases where we can say treatment is available, but it is 100% not curable. The malaria, again, same thing. So vaccine is not available, prevention is not available, treatment and cureness is little bit available. So you have to look at the things where I have scope for development. So as I here initially in stage here, this slide again will tell you before going to H index and all things. I want to tell you the curiosity. You should be curious for your work. Your imagination should be very high. Don't think what others are doing. What our researchers are doing when they are coming early in the morning, what my neighbor is doing, whether his paper is published or not, whether paper is, if his paper gets rejected, he become happy. That will not help you to develop. No chance. So you should be enthusiastic, not for destroying others. For developing ourselves, you should be enthusiastic. You should be patient. Not all the time, even though other put a hammer on your brain, or even if other give stress to you. So you should have qualities with you. And you can say I would always say, what is my principle I used to believe in my life? Honesty, transparency, and loyalty will make you have work done. Please believe this, my line. Always. If you get money will temporarily stay with you. You may feel happy, your family may feel happy, but you won't get real satisfaction even though if you collect money by all means, by wrong means. The honesty, transparency, and loyalty make hard work. And for remaining, hard work has no easy solution. You need to do very hard work. You cannot believe our honorable vice chancellor is coming at morning at 10:30 and leaving at 8:30. How many staff members are there, especially including me? So can I have that? So while learning, you should learn good things rather than learning bad things. Because a person easily learn bad things, but for learning good things, it takes time. But good things always remains you, and that will promote you to be in good direction. Okay. So here these are some kind of things. There are we need to what we can say we need to fulfill in the future. So we have a number of things are there. If for example, if I have 2 kids, if I have 10 kids, how if my income is limited. How I can keep everybody happy? So you understand your limitations and your strengths. If you understand it, we can say you can provide zero hunger, you can provide good health to everyone, then you can provide good quality education to everyone, then you can provide equality to everyone, and something will work. So means you understand where the basic needs are there. Okay, I'm coming to the second point. What are the fields where I need to do research in next 50 years? Energy, water, food, environment, poverty, tourism, as well as war, disease, education system, democracy, pollution. These are the fields which will remain forever, at least for next 50 years. If I want to do research, don't do research in faith. So, for example, one example I will tell you. During COVID time, one of my doctor friends said, I will open my hospital and I will be rich. But during that time, COVID gone. It means that you should know the things which will survive, sustain for next 50 years, 20 years, and so on. So if you are short-tempered, if you are short goal-oriented, you never will be good successful researcher or good smart researcher. Okay, so let's come to the point. As I discussed with you, what are different types of researchers are there? Basic research is there, fundamental research is there. Okay, blue sky research. What is blue sky research? Means what? Some kind of collecting data information, putting on your name. That is called as blue sky research. The curiosity driven. So if I got some curiosity, if it is happening, why it is not happening, to develop myself in a particular direction, that kind of research is called as a curiosity driven research. Then discovery research. Actually, I will ask you about this point. Discovery research. What is the difference between Albert Einstein and Gnaneshwar Maharaj? Simple question. So whether they belong to discovery research, I would say yes, they belong to discovery research. Gnaneshwar Mauli was thinking to achieve something through meditation. When he was in the meditation, he was forgetting himself. Same thing was with Albert Einstein. When he was performing experiment, he was forgetting himself. Whether he had a lunch or not, he was completely forgetting himself. So, according to me, discovery research is here. So, if you involve and if you go in the direction of your desired level, desired target, forgetting everything, that is called as a discovery research. This disruptive and incremental research. If some changes I want to do, that is called a disruptive and incremental research. The directed basic research is there. Suppose previously some people have done this thing, and if I'm going in other direction, it's called then use inspired research. Few people are doing some kind of recently the fuel cars are coming for. It's called use inspiring research. Why? Because the petrol and diesel somewhere is going to off. So then later on, I will tell you one thing, very interesting story. Saudi Arabia, they are putting a lot of money on education. Very surprising thing. Earlier, they were rich because of only petrol and diesel, but now they realize the importance of education. So educate, and that is only because of they are doing what research presently they are focusing. They are focusing on carbon monoxide reduction. That research kind of CO2 production, the hydrogen production research. See their idea of research. They are not doing the up research. They are doing some kind of focused research, innovative research. They are doing the translation research. Okay, so applied research and development. If we do some kind of technology, or if you do some kind of research, and based on that, if you can develop the technology, that will be certainly good for your achievement. Okay, so this is point where I want to start. Ranking is what? What is mean by word ranking? This slide I have told you earlier. Dr. Here, Darkoli sir mentioned this year my citation is about 12,000. You will realize here two slides are there. This is not one and same slide. The upper slide is different, lower slide is different. Can you tell me the difference between these two slides? On the one slide, two parts are clearly seen. Here on the slide, two parts are clearly seen. My question is that, what is the difference between these two slides? Or two parts? Anybody can tell me? All set? No? Nobody wish to make any comment? Dr. Tekare sir, can you tell me what is the difference between these two slides? Two parts are there. In fact, not two slides. This is only one slide, but two parts are there. Can you tell me the difference between these two parts? No? Dr. Darkonde?
Sir, the downstairs is about Google Scholar citations, and the
So-
uppermost is another one. And
Yeah. What I realized, these, the faculty members are attentive. Thank you very much. So the first slide is related to word index. It is AD index, and lower side is related to research. Suppose before starting research, I want to check my mentor is of what kind. Whether really my mentor is eligible to guide me, because I told you mentor is very important. I recommend you to check him to the AD index. Look at his citations, his word ranking, his local ranking, and so on. So, for example, one is a AJ Kim, he belong to Korea. You can clearly see in material science, the word ranking belong to Korea, not from USA, UK, Japan. No, first top scientist, and you can clearly see that his ranking is very high. What I will say, total citations are, we can say 48 lakh, something like this there. So this is one way to see how your research is there, and to say your mentor is there. Second, bottom part, you can see that if you can write on Google Scholar, anybody is there. If somebody is saying in the market, I'm big and smart researcher, write his name on Google. You'll find, look at his Google bibliography. You will find that here these 3 points are. I will explain in detail what these points are. Citations are there. So here again it represents. If you go in detail, the self citations and public citations, H index, I10 index, these are very important. And if you are H index, I will explain in PowerPoint later on how to H index. Here, remember that information about any person can be obtained from Google Scholar. It is open access. AD index is also open access. If you want to get information about institute, if you want to get information about person, you can easily obtain from AD index very easily. Again, there are two slides are there. So these are two authentic sites. The first two are not authentic. The system is not supporting here. Means if you produce H index from Google, or if you produce H index from the AD syntax, people don't believe. But here, these two slides, one is called a Scopus index, and second is called a Web of Science. If you write on Scopus index information, if you write information on clearly, you will find that. So here you clearly see that though my Google citations are more than 12,000, my Scopus citations are very close to 10,000. This is difference what you can say. So here it is authentic. What I mean to say here, they are only considering the publications in reputed or recognized journals, not all journals. Google citation consider publications from all journals, which is open access. Third one is the Web of Science. Through Web of Science, we can obtain any information. Suppose I want to get information about the patent, I want to get information about any publishing agency, that can be obtained very easily. Any information can be obtained from Web of Science. Unfortunately, very limited institutes within the Maharashtra like NCL, TFR, BRC, they are having only access of this Web of Science. Most of the universities are not having access of Web of Science. Let's remember that. So because it is a paid institute. Then this is next one. So if I want to get information about some publications, suppose then we can say research scholar website is there. So if suppose you want to get on research scholar ResearchGate, if you write type at corner, suppose here the search, if you write the DIO number or paper number, if it is available free of cost, you will get information about the paper very easily from ResearchGate. Okay. Then one more site is there, SciFinder. We can call it SciHub. It is illegal site, but anyway, you will get your manuscript very easily online through the SciHub. If you write here a DIO number, which is available for the individual manuscript, that entire manuscript can be available very easily over the DIO number. Oh yeah, here entire means complete manuscript will be available you through SciHub portal. Okay. Now, what are publications are there? Now we have so many publications are there. So there is difference between publisher and publication. Publisher is the community that publishes various journals, such as we can say the Taylor and Francis, Routledge and Human Kinetics. So there are some, we can say, language-based journals are there, education-based journals are there, medical-based journals are there, science-based journals are there, mathematics-based journals are there. Number of, but publication, these are some kind of publishing agencies. And here we can have Royal Care. We know only one or two, such as Elsewhere. We know American Chemical Society, RAC, okay, or at the most Springer, but most of we don't know. There are n number of publishers are there, and they are non-open access as well. Means open access means we need to pay charges for publishing your article, and they here for non-open access they are not placing any kind of charge for publishing your article. So we have these are some kind of agencies that publishes your article. Okay, let us see here. I have given you a list of the top 10 the publishers that publishes your article very easily, and when they are found very clearly, it has been mentioned. One is a Springer Nature. Springer Nature is recently found. It is different than Nature. Remember that. Most of the faculty members, most of the scholars are saying to me, I have published it in Nature. It is a wrong or fake news, I would say, because Springer Nature is different than Nature Publishing Group. Nature Publishing Group, okay, I would say here, the Springer Nature is one part of Nature Publishing Group. It is not Nature. It is a Nature Publishing Group. So Springer Nature, I would say here, it is part of Nature Publishing Group. It is not a Nature article. Second one is a Elsewhere. We can say here in Elsewhere we have paid journals as well as unpaid journals. John Williamson's they publishes books as well as a journal number. We can say more than 1,500 journals they have as on today. Okay, so out of that 144 are open access journals. The Frontiers, again, it is started in 2007. Just then MDPIG recently, it is multidisciplinary publishing agency. Okay, it started in just 1997, 1997. It has started. Then we can say Information PLC. Then worker Clover, some number of public. These are some kind of. Okay, now coming to the point, it's very important for us. What is that? We have impact factor. What different types of impact factors are there? What is the use of impact factor? Simply, I can say to access your academic achievements, impact factor is very important. Very important. And impact factor will tell you quality of your research. Indirectly, quality of researcher. And I'm proud to tell you, I'm not saying, I'm not adamant that whatever articles we publish from our university, they are all less than 5 impact factor journals. 5 impact factor journals. I recommend all of you to push your articles above 5, 10, 15, and 20. Before 2 days, I got message from the journal Chemical Review, which is a very highly prestigious journal, having impact factor 25. And you won't believe that article is written by a MN student. His name is Ahmed. The person coming from MN, staying in university for just 4 or 5 months or 1 year, and writing first article in impact factor 25 is not easy task. And I'm sure about one week or 2 weeks that article published in our will be published. What I want to tell you, I'm doing in this university last 25 years. Why I couldn't be able to publish article about impact factor 10 or 15? So that question we have to ask. If you are saying at one side you are a smart researcher, second time you have to prove you are publishing article in high impact factor journals above 5 and 10. Don't pay your article in open access journals or paid journals. Just let me tell you what is the impact factor. Impact factor belong to, it is a measurement of influence and authority of a publisher piece of work. Means it is one clear cut. It is mentioned that It is measurement of your quality of work. Impact factor calculations can be measured. Here, second side is important. Citations and impact of both individual authors and overall journal publication. Suppose, for example, if I publish article in one journal, then how many times my article is cited is also important. Second thing is that what is quality of that journal? That also two things are important. So means in order to get impact factor of person and journal, impact factor is related to journal. Impact factor is not related to researcher, for example, but indirectly it will use. For example, I will tell you, if we have journal such as, let's say, material physics and chemistry, Journal of Material Physics and Chemistry, the journal publishes from Taiwan. Let me say, if the American professor write article in this journal and it gets cited for several times, then automatically impact factor of that journal will increase. So the credit goes to journal as well as a person who is publishing his article in that journal. So remember that. Just if you want to prove yourself in a market, publish articles in reputed journals. Don't publish article in fake, local, and duplicate journals. Go into small article, 1 or 2 pages. So I would say when the first C.V. Raman Saab, when published, it was an article of half page. Can you believe it? When C.V. Raman published his first article in Nature, and surprisingly, I'm telling you, that article was rejected by the reviewer. But editor accepted that article, and now that article is there. So how long your article is not important. Important is that in which journal you are publishing and what quality article you are publishing. So we can call it as an impact factor related journal. Then second is called as a personal impact factor. It is related to personal impact factor. It is the reach and references, means how many of your articles are cited. That gives you personal impact factor. This measurement displays the average number of times that your personal writing appears as a reference in other words. Again, this point is there. So most of the time what is happening, we are placing our own references. So I appeal all of the researchers not to place your own reference. That may give you temporary satisfaction, but in your result, it get declared. Out of 100, 95% are self-cited articles, and only 5% articles belong to your other citations. That will take your H-index down. So I recommend, if you really want to do contribute research, you should cite others' articles rather than citing your own articles. You can calculate your personal impact factor by counting the number of citations of your work and dividing it by the total number of research. For example, in my case, I will take my example. If I publish 10 manuscripts, okay, so and their citations are 80, then 80 divided by 10 will be the personal impact factor. Getting my point? So simple, I can say that how many number of publications you produce and how many times they are get cited. Based on that, your personal impact factor generates. Then we have journal impact factor. So the ranking and the status of journal impact factor always it is important. Journal based on journal impact factor, people used to submit their manuscripts in respective journals. So the impact factor offers insight into reach, quality, and influence of the information. Means if you submit your manuscript in a high H-index, you cannot produce rupture data. No, you need to prove every aspect very carefully. Then only that journal consider your manuscript for publication. Otherwise, next day it will come back. We are sorry to that we cannot consider your paper for further consideration. Finally, I can say your academic success is get calculated based on articles or based on impact factor of journal in which you are submitting your articles. If you are submitting your articles in 1 or 2 impact factor, it will not be considered, or I recommend you to appeal it. Now let's come to the point. We must know the H-index, I-10 index or G10 index. What is that? We have capital H index and small h. Basically both are same. One is get calculated from the Google Scholar and one is calculated from the Scopus. Small h is generally calculated from the Scopus and capital H is generally calculated from the Google Scholars. So this is just a remember. So Here we can say H index determines the calculating number of articles for which author has referred at least that many times by other author. Means what? If I here one example I have given you. If your if H index of 15, if your H index is 15, you know, let me say from our university, I have 200 scholars. You will surprise that again. I'm not criticizing. If you want to compete with H index, compete with the number of publications, compete with the quality of publications, and compete with the high ranking publications. Don't compete in other sense. So if you want to be real researcher, okay, you will surprise that more than 65% faculty members of our university are less than 10 H index. I mean, making precise statement. More than 65% faculty members of our university are having H index less than 10. Are we good researcher? Are we good smart researcher? Like again, people will say, no, we have other responsibilities. Initially, I told you, research and teaching both are different. If you have passion of research, then come forward, then get involved. Otherwise, no chance. Be a teacher. It is good way. But then don't pretend yourself. Don't show you are a smart researcher. Not required. Simply say, I am a smart teacher. Again, if you are a smart teacher, when you go in the classroom, teach without notebook. You are carrying 10 books in the class, and you are teaching to students. Again, you are not good as smart teacher at all. I want to say you, in which field you are going is not important, but maintain the quality wherever you go. So that actually I want to tell you. So here, if your H index is 15, indicate that scientist has written at least 50. So my H index is 51, for example, 55. It means minimum my publication should be 55. Then each of which has been referred at least 15 times. Means what I will say. If I have friends, this is a very critical point. If I have written 450 publications, my H index is 55. It means that 1 minute I will hold because the phone is coming from Kolhapur. I will go. 1 minute, give me, because I have to inform her. Because initially once I informed her, but she's not. She again will asking me. Okay, I'll give message to her. Basically, I'll give message to her. I'm busy because she's calling me several times. Okay, 1 minute. Sorry, Aditi. Sorry, friends, because she's disturbing me several times, and I cannot say her. Okay. See, yeah. What I want to tell you here, if I have written 450 articles, and my H index is 55, again I'm not comparing with anyone. Again, if you look at my Professor C.D. Lokhande, his H index is 78. I will give example of Professor C.D. Lokhande. His H index is suppose 78. He has written about 500 articles. It indicates that his all 500 articles are cited more than 78 times. This is the meaning of H index. Remember that. I-10 index refers to a number of papers with more than 10 citations. If I have suppose 10 papers and 10 papers all papers are above 10 citations, it means that my I-10 index is 100. Okay, so means I-10 index refers number of papers. If my all articles are above citations 10, it doesn't again. If you have self citation, no, we will consider it. But here, if your citations belong to other category, means other people, if you have cited your work more than 10 times, then you are cited the I-10 times. And G index is an index of quality, quantifying productivity in science based on the publication record. Means what? Is very important term. G index means what? If I have worked in 4 fields, if I work in only 1 field, and if it get commercialized, then G index is different. If I work in 4 fields and impact of all 4 fields is very high, then G index is different. Means what? So how much science I have developed and how much it is utilized in society, based on that H index varies. Number of sites are index. Okay, as we have discussed, H index comes from the Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholars. Okay, so what is the difference between these three? Web of Science considers citations backdated from 1961 onward. Then Scopus has been Scopus has been launched on November. It is launched in November 3, 2004, and the full citations covers. Then it is covered from the 1996. Then we can say Google Scholar is a really, it is an open access actually. Basically, it is anything that it launched in 2004. In conclusion, I can say the last one, citations, is not reliable, but first two citations are very reliable, so you can prefer citations of that. Okay, so as I told you, where to go, in which field we are expert. If you look this slide, agriculture, we are okay. In IT and software, we are okay. But in everywhere, America is at the top. America is at the top. Secondly, second number, only in software, we are so means we are only using brain. We are not using our body or anything else. So only in IT and software, we are at considerable position. In other all sectors, we are lagging behind. If you want to be researcher, think about in which field you have passion and how you can go for. Even though country like small, the country of Pakistan, or let's say Israel is smaller than Pakistan. So it occupies the position. South Korea, it is the size of Maharashtra, less than Maharashtra. It's still occupied Japan. You can say so. If you see these countries, okay, we have the Korea, Germany, the Japan. They have occupied their positions at 1, 2, 3, 4, more than 5 to 6 times. Japan occupied positions. So we need to be smart and we need to be oriented based on. Next few slides, I'll explain you what we are doing here in the laboratory. We are working on the material science. We use different methods, and so far we are working in different directions. We use different chemical methods for preparing nanomaterials, nanostructures, and we are applying it for various applications. These are applications we prefer. Optoelectronics, biological applications. We have so many collaborators within the university, outside the university. Professor Khobragade, then Amruta, Dr. Amruta is working there. Then on chemistry, we have Dr. Pinzari, Dr. Chaitanya. They are our good collaborators, Dr. Sarode. So they are good collaborators. In collaboration with them, we are going for the applications. So what is beauty of this? I will explain you what. This is only one slide. How research can comes out? We have developed one method. By mixing metal salt and thiocetamide together, you can produce any material of your interest. For example, if you want to produce bismuth oxide, take bismuth nitrate and thiocetamide. You will find bismuth oxide. The solvent should be the ethanol. And I mean to say, using single method, we developed one method. Using that method, we can produce any material. So you need to have some kind of idea that will that should be novel and it should be society based. So this idea we have placed in this work, and this paper was published in a very good journal. We can call it as the Advanced Functional Material, which is one of the top papers in the history of SRTMU University Nanded so far, having impact factor 17. But we are trying now. We are hopefully very soon, about 1 or 2 weeks, we'll reach to the impact factor 25. This is solar cell measurement. What we did, we prepared the TiO2. This is titanium oxide, and on this TiO2, we added the zinc sulfide as a buffer layer, and then on that we kept the top as a perovskite layer, and we made a solar cell like this: 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. So what is beauty? Whenever TiO2 is there, just try to understand how research can be done. If only TiO2 is there, performance is less. Whenever zinc oxide is there, performance is more. And we try to explain mechanically, or we try to explain with different experiments why. By adding zinc oxide, performance is increased. And this paper was published in a very reputed journal. Then we use on supercapacitors, having high power and high energy. In the laboratory, our students are working because we know that during the colder time, we require high power along with high energy. And it is example like this. If you have, strong muscle power, if in family if members are more, then your economical power will come down, but muscle power will be strong. But if you have less number of people in the family, your muscle power will be weak, but you can say economical power will be very high. Like that, we can say the supercapacities device, we have high energy as well as high power. And that we used to laboratory. What we have cathode we used to produce, and anode we used to produce. We used to wrap it over the anode, and we used to produce a device like this in the laboratory as in today. Okay, so one of our scholars has prepared the bismuth oxide. This is actually example of bismuth oxide, and this is example of nickel sulfide. These are both. This is a grown by wet chemical method. This is a self-grown method. What is observation? Observation is that here by using different precursors, listen, by different precursors, nickel sulfide was grown, and by using the wet chemical method, different morphologies of bismuth oxide were formed. But beauty of that, one is showing a negative potential, second is showing positive potential. We combine together, and by forming, we make the device. Actually, this one of our scholars, Rishikesh Suryavanshi lighted this panel clearly. We could able to store the light. The generation of light was taken place from the solar cell. The storage of light, storage of electricity, we can obtain from the supercapacitor. And the third, again, chemical sensor. We are doing some kind of, we are taking materials. This work is done by this is human carbonyl sugar. Carbonyl sugar was, when sugar is analyzed, it forms graphene oxide. We proved that after annealing sugar or after carbonizing sugar, it becomes graphene oxide, and graphene oxide can be good sensing material, ammonia sensor, and we could able to develop device in the laboratory. And this simulation programming, Dr. Chaitanya from our chemistry department, chemical sciences department, he performed this type of calculation. He showed experimentally why. I told you in initial stage, we need to know why material is showing best performance for particular gas or particular measurement, and why not for others. So this type of study will have real future in the market. Those who are working in simulation programming, they will have surely benefit, or sure future in their career. So here, the first one of my scholars used they prepare ferrite material, and by ferrite material we could able to show by doping, the magnetic storage can be performed. This again, this is a human urine. Human urine we collected, and it carbonized. And one of our scholar, Dr. Taba, she has performed this experiment by three compound reaction. As it means, in this particular experiment, she used the human urine as a catalyst, and by using catalyst, she could able to produce a reaction. This work, we produce a selenium nanoparticles. Selenium nanoparticles, if we give to the boiler chicken, we found that the immune power of boiler chicken was improved. This work was performed by Dr. Shubhangi Shirsak, who is the student of Dr. Ambadas Kadam. So means we are interdisciplinary. Until this, we are not going interdisciplinary. New ideas we cannot able to get it. So it's our few direction in future direction. We want to develop, we want to utilize sunlight. Again, sunlight will be used to produce energy. Energy will be stored in the form of devices, and by using stored energy, we can produce the hydrogen as a water splitting application. That is our direction, what we have in future. So this kind of new literature. When you go for literature, you should cite. You should have citation of repeated journals such as Nature, Science, the Advanced Material, Angewandte Chemie, JAX, and so on. So I appeal all of you. This is my appeal. This is my appeal to all of you, those who are attending this lecture. Anybody, till I am in this university, if anybody produces JAX, Journal of American Chemical Society, from this university, I will felicitate him, or I will hand over the gift of 51,000 rupees to him, because so far from our university JAX has not come out. Those who are attending this talk, I appeal all of them, try for JAX, get 51,000 incentives from me. This is not only corruption, but this is not only to say felicitation, but why I want from my university JAX, why JAX is not coming. So I feel of you go for the repeated journals rather than going for low journals. So this kind of measurement. This by here in this case, by using single stream solar cell is produced here. Inner surface is nickel sulfide, outer surface is iron sulfide. Iron sulfide acts as a p-type semiconductor, and inner acts as an n-type semiconductor that we have produced now. Our idea is clear. By using solar, energy can be stored, and by using energy, we can produce the hydrogen. So in this way we have. So this some kind of flexible devices we used to produce in the laboratory, and we are going for the market quality now production. Okay. Here, what we want? I want in the future. I want to have smart researcher and talented brain to come together. It may be Brainpool Fellow, or it may be Rajiv Gandhi Fellow, it may be Incubation Fellow. What kind of fellow it may be, but he want to be together. They establishing full-fledged research group, because if you don't have facilities, begging research cannot be done. Always remember, Beggars cannot be rich. Beggars cannot be businessmen. This is a known quote. So what I do? So we need to have very smart laboratory where all expertise and all facilities should be available. Then computational facilities should be available. The state-of-the-art instrumentation facilities should be available, and the technology-based research should be performed. And finally, I would say technology transfer should be technology transfer for industry beneficial should be performed, and publishing article of high impact factor is our primary goal. I am editor of various journals. Our books, our students have contributed this to books. You will be that this Vijay Kumar Jadhav is my student actually. He did PhD with me, but now as of today he has 5 books on his credit. Why not you? So you make appeal. If you come forward, things will happen. So this wagon book submitted by published by him. So our students can write the books. They can in repeated publishing agencies such as Elsewhere as well as Springer. Now we are writing books for different applications. So you may also try for writing good book chapters. Reading books. It is possible for you. I would say this is about my slide presentation. In slide, what I discuss with you. This 5 minutes I'll take more. In order to become good researcher, ambition is important. Clarity is important. Your belief is important, and commitment is important. Finding new will be always challenging, but if you have passion, you can do things. You should be passionate to publish your articles in reputed journal. Don't count how much it is your impact factor, how much is it at initial stage, what are your citations, and so on. Don't go for malpracticing. Do genuine work, you will be good researcher. And once you become good researcher, automatically your quality of publication, your look of society, the look of research, and your environment will change. And that will promote, or that will help you to change the economical background of economical status of your life. And after all, for economical status, high quality research is essential. I wish everybody will have high quality research and good economy in their future. With these few words, I will say thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thanks to Mr. Sunil Jadhav, who provided uninterrupted internet to all of us. Especially thanks to Professor L.M. Wagmar sir, Dean Science and Technology, who promoted this activity, and followed not but the least my sister, Dr. Vajinta Patel madam, who gave inspiration to me for this talk, and last but not least, Dr. Nitin Dharkunde, who introduced me very nicely. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So now the session is open for questions. If audience have any question, then feel free to interact with Professor Rajaram sir.
Sir, sharing stop karan sir.
Oh, sure. Like I said, just a minute. I'll do it. Okay, just stop. Yes, stop.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So feel free to interact with Mane sir if you have any queries.
They may not have queries, or they would understand everything, or they are afraid to ask me.
Yes, anybody have any queries? Yeah, I don't think so. So let me propose a vote of thanks. Yeah, thank you very much to Professor Rajaram Mane sir for elucidating the different facets of H index, citation index, then what are the different kind of citations, what are the different databases, and what are the qualities of good journals, what are the qualities of good researchers. And he also given the hint of how to prepare or equip yourself for the good research, and which will help us, our country, to grow in a good way. Yeah, so thank you very much, Rajaram Mane sir, for your excellent talk. Once again, I would like to thank Vajinta Patil madam, the Dean of Interdisciplinary Studies, the Dr. L.M. Wagmare sir, Dean of Science and Technology, and last but not least, Sunil Jadhav sir, for giving me this opportunity to introduce as well as propose a vote of thanks in this wonderful online lecture series. So thank you very much. So with the permission of organizing committee, shall I, Jadhav sir, shall we stop
Yes,
now?
sir. Okay, Nitin.
Yeah. So with the permission of organizing committee, I declare that this session is over. Thank you once again to everybody.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.